Los Angeles is a city that seems to belong to the future. It is a place of cinema, technology, and reinventions. Millions arrive dreaming of success, but the beneath this image of sunshine and new beginning of lies most older story. Los Angeles was building through migration, ambition, engineering, conflict, and survival. This story begins long before Hollywood, before the POS, and even before the name Los Angeles existed. It begins with indigenous communities who understand the land, rivers, mountains, and season of Southern California. This is the history of how a small settlement became one of the most famous cities of art, and how every stage of its growth created and both opportunity and inequality. Thousands of years before even settlers arrived, indigenous people lived across the Los Angeles basin. By around 3000 BCE, communities hunted, fished, gathered seeds, and used the resources of the coast and inland valleys. Later, the Tongva people became the dominant community in the region. The Tongva called the wider region Ya. Their territory included the Los Angeles and San Gabriel River, floodplains, and several channel islands. This was not an empty wilderness waiting to be discovered. It was carefully understood homeland. The Tongva built villages near reliable water resources, traded with neighboring peoples, and developed religious, political, and cultural traditions. One of the most important villages was Yanga, located near the Los Angeles River. Its position beside fresh water made it a center of life and trade. The people of Yanga understood which plants could be eaten, where animals moved, when rivers flooded, and how to live in dry food fertile environment. Their knowledge later supported the first colonial settlement. European arrival brought diseases, displacement, forced labor, and land loss. But Tongla descendants continue protecting their culture and scared places. European contact began in the 16th and 17th centuries when Spanish explored visited the coast, but a permanent colonial presence did not begin until the Fatola expeditions reached the area in 1769. Spain strengthened its control through missions, military presidios, and civilian towns known as pueblos. Government Philip the Nib selected the Los Angeles the area for one of these pueblos. The location offered water, farmland, grazing land, and access to nearby indigenous labor. On September 4, 1781, 44 settlers founded the city. They came from New Spain, mainly from areas that are now part of the Mexico. The group of people of mixed indigenous African and European ancestry. The settlement was eventually known as El Pueblo de Los Angeles, the town of the Angeles. Following Spanish planning laws, the pueblo was organized around a central plaza. Nearby land was divided into home, plots, and agricultural fields. Settlers built simple adobe houses and created irrigation dishes that carried water from the Los Angeles River. The town depended on heavily on Tongva labor. Indigenous workers dug dishes, carried water, worked on farm, and supplied goods. Some married settlers and others resisted colonial control. In 1785, Tongva Elder Typhoon helped organize an uprising against Mission San Gabriel after indigenous lands were taken and people were forced to work. The revolt failed, but it became a powerful symbol of resistance. By the early 19th century, Los Angeles had become a small but self-sustainable farming and ranching community. vineyard, cattle, hides, tallow, crops farm. Base of its economy, the population remained small, but the town had taken root. In 1821, Mexico won independence from Spain. Los Angeles was no longer a Spanish pueblo. Its residents became citizens of Mexico and a new period began. The secularization of the mission in the 1830s released enormous areas of land. Most of this land passed into the hands of government official rangers, speculators. Indigenous communities, however, rarely benefited. Many lost legal control of ancestral lands and became dependent on ranch work. Los Angeles grew from 650 people to 1822 around 1680 by 1841. It remained small by modern standard, but it was became the leading settlement of southern California. Foreign merchants also arrived. American and European owned shops, bought land and entered the cattle and wine trades. French immigrant Jean-Louis Biggs created one of the California's largest vineyards and began shipping wine to other parts of the region. In 1835, the Mexican government officially declared Los Angeles a city. It became an important political center of Alta California. But the Mexican era would be brief. The growing presence of American settlers combined with the exponential ambition of the United States placed California in the danger of conquest. The Mexican-American War began in 1846. American forces quickly moved into California. Los Angeles was occupied, but local Californians rebelled and temporarily dropped the American troops out. The Americans returned with great forces. In January 1847, the Treaty of Sanga ended armed resistance in California. The following years, the Treaty of Hidalgo found transport California from Mexico to the United States. In only few years, the people of Los Angeles had lived under Spanish, Mexican, and American rule. The transitions changed land, citizens, and power. American courts often rejected older Mexican property documents. Surveys redrew boundaries and land became a commodity to divide and sell. California entered the Union in 1850 and Los Angeles was incorporated as an American city. The early American period was violent. The city gained a reputation for crime, vigilantism, racial conflict, and public executions. Mexicans, signage, immigrants, and indigenous people faced discriminations and physical attacks. Indigenous people suffered especially severe treatment and they were denied legal protection, removed from land, arrested for unemployment or public drunkenness, and sometimes forced into labor systems. Disease and violence reduced their populations. The grim American city promised freedom and opportunity, but those promises were distributed unequally. In the 1870s, Los Angeles still had only a few thousand residents, but the arrival of the railroad transformed the city. The first local railroad connected to Los Angeles with San Pedro in 1869. A connection to the Northern California followed in 1876. The greatest change came in 1885 when the Santa Fe Railroad created this direct eastern road. The population rose from roughly 5,000 in the 1870s to more than 100,000 by 1900. Banks, hotels, theaters, factories, and neighborhoods appeared. The Pacific Electric Records connected to the Los Angeles with beaches, suburbs, and the distant communities. The port also became essential. Business leaders fought to establish a major harbor at San Pedro rather than allow the Southern Pacific Railway to control a rival port in Santa Monica. Federal investment created the Fort of Los Angeles, and the city later annexed San Pedro and Wilmington. Chinese workers built the tunnels and parks, while Mexican, Japanese, European, and other immigrants supported agriculture, construction, transport, and tourism, and often for low wages. Los Angeles was became a city of movement. Trains, ships, streetcars, goods, workers, and investors all flowed through it. Two resources shaped the next stage of Los Angeles, that are oil and water. Oil was discovered near present-day Doha Stadium in 1892. Soon, oil field appeared across the basin, where rigs stood beside homes, schools, and beaches. By the early 1920s, the Los Angeles regions produced a major share of the world's oil. Water was an even greater challenge. The Los Angeles River had supported ingenious villages and the early pueblo, but as the population grew, local water supplies became insufficient. City leaders looked more than 200 miles away to the Owens Valley. Officials, engineers, and investors acquired the water rights and built the Los Angeles Aqueduct. When it opened in 1913, it delivered enormous quantities of water from Stan Sierra Nevada to Los Angeles. Water became a tool of expansion. Communities that wanted access to the city's supplies were encouraged or pressured or to join Los Angeles. Hollywood merged with the city in 1910. Much of the San Fernando Valley was annexed in 1915. Engineering had conquered distance, but not without winners and losers. Los Angeles is not one story. It is the story of Tongva and their enduring homeland. It is the story of Mexican settlers, American conquerors, Chinese railway workers, oil dealers, farm laborers, studio employees, and aircraft builders, migrants, activists, and dreamers. It is a city built by the water taken across mountains, by railroads driven through tunnels, by freeways cut through communities, and by images projected onto screens and around the world. Los Angeles has repeatedly promised a new beginner. For some, that promise created an extraordinary opportunity. For others, it brought displacement, discrimination, and struggles. Its strength is its ability to change. Its challenge is remembering who paid for each transformations. From Tongva homeland to Spanish Pueblo, from Mexican city to an American metropolis, from orange groves to oil fields, from silent films to global streaming, Los Angeles has never stopped revealing itself.